By the end of the 6th century, the Chinese had managed to build kites large and aerodynamic enough to sustain the weight of an average-sized man. Starting in the 1880s, the construction of the first practical gliders were made, and in 1889, Otto Lilienthal published his findings. Lilienthal made over 200 successful flights in Germany. He became known as the Glider King. After World War II, interest in the ultralight low-speed aircraft continued to grow when Professor Francis Rogallo of the National Space Agency in the USA developed a flexible wing parachute for steering space reentry vehicles back to Earth. Rogallo's concept was avidly embraced by later generations of hang gliding enthusiasts. The basic hang glider that most modern gliders are modeled after today was invented by an Australian engineer, John Dickinson, in 1963. First-generation gliders were from 1971 to 1975. Interest in the sport grew worldwide, and there was development of hang gliders on a commercial scale. From 1974 to 1976, the second generation had increased nose angle deflexors. From 1977 to 1979, third generation had multiple deflexors. From 1978 to 1980, fourth generation enclosed kneel and tip rods. From 1980 to 1997, the fifth generation had a crossbar that was double-surfaced. Hang glider performance was then increased rapidly. The first truly successful double-surfaced hang gliders were the Manta Fledge and the Comet. Virtually all hang gliders over the next decade were refinements of the Comet. Today, sixth-generation hang gliders are topless, which means without a king post. While topless gliders had been experimented with in the past using struts or nose plates, in the late 1990s the use of strong carbon fiber crossbars allowed the king post on top of the wing to be more conveniently removed to further increase performance by reducing drag. In 1978, the Atlas entered the market. The pilot flew in a prone position. The Atlas had all of the safety elements that can still be found today. The concept of the combat glider can be traced to the outcome of World War I. Under the provisions of the Treaty of Versailles, Germany was forced to reduce its land army to a token of 1,000 men and was prohibited from having an air force. Since the treaty did not prohibit the building and flying of gliders, glider flying clubs sprang up throughout Germany. Within 8 years after the war ended, German high schools were offering glider flying as part of their regular curriculum. When the Nazis came to power in 1933, the young men trained in gliders to form the core of the new German Air Force. Hitler himself perfected the strategy of landing assault teams behind enemy lines, both day and night, in engineless aircraft. Russia pioneered in this area with cargo gliders, though its gliders as troop carriers were never used in combat. However, after the war, Russia maintained 3 glider infantry regiments until 1965. Today's airlines glide about 25% farther, and the next generation promises additional gains. Improved efficiency, for example, means that Boeing's new 787 airliner consumes about 40% less fuel per passenger than its 1970 aircraft. Airbus and other manufacturers have achieved similar results.
2 Ukrainian hang gliders have broken the world record for the longest distance flown without touchdown. Elena Astakova and Alexander Voronin flew 706 kilometers on a motorized hang glider last year, but only now has it been confirmed by the World Air Sports Federation that they broke the record. It's even more pleasing that they broke the record on a Ukrainian-made hang glider, which was designed and produced in Kiev. Astakova and Voronin say they did not expect to break the record. Their feat has been recognized with the award of diplomas from the World Air Sports Federation.